Good morning. This is Tahia. Today we're going to start, and this is Lila. Say hi, Lila. Say hello. Today we're going to be doing a quick little drawing demonstration for you to share with you some new offerings at Club Fashionista, which is going to be our online club subscription option for folks. So let's take a look and see what we can show you in terms of drawing. Lila is leaving now. Bye-bye, kitty. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And you are looking at the Sketchbook Pro screen, but at home you can follow along with a piece of paper. I'm going to start with a little pencil drawing, and today we're just going to show you a little bit about how to draw a human face. So basically you're going to start out with an oval shape, which is what most people's faces are, is an oval of some kind. Some people have stronger chins or higher cheekbones, but typically you just start with a basic oval shape. And as I draw the correct version, I'm going to show you some of the mistakes that people make here on the side. A lot of times people draw a head and they make it very, very round. And the truth is, very few of us have truly round heads. So that's one error that's pretty common. The next thing to do is decide about where on the head the features are going to go. And usually it takes about like this sort of X kind of shape across to help you decide. So you put this kind of lightly penciled X right across the middle. And then we go ahead and put the eyes in, because this is the line along which the eyes go. And usually you'll see the eyes are about 5 eye widths across. So if I change colors to show you, basically you're measuring it 5 eye widths across, like that. Go ahead and erase those lines and erase some of the stuff inside here. Okay. The next spot that you'll notice is that you come down to the about halfway between where you put the eyes and the bottom of the chin, so right about there, and that's the tip of the nose. And we can make a little bottom of the nose. Now, common error with this, let's say that somebody did do the oval shape. A common error with the eyes is to put them way up high in the head. Well, we're not really made that way. We have a forehead and we have a crown to our head. So actually, the eyes need to go in the center. And a lot of times people then put the nose right next to that. So you get more of a cartoon effect. But a realistic face looks more like this. The next thing to do is to locate the mouth. And I always start with the line in the center of the mouth. That line that makes up the center of the mouth between the upper and lower lip. That line should really be pretty dark, because that line tends to be kind of dark. And then you can add the lips around that. Okay? A lot of times people will put the lips right here. And the effect is that you're looking either up at the person or they just don't look quite right. Sometimes they'll just draw a mouth that's open like this, or a slash. So this is more of a realistic looking face. Then when we draw the eye, we're going to put in an eyelid, right? So about halfway down there's an eyelid. And usually it's just kind of like 2 lines, one above the other. You can be a little more creased if you want. And here's the place where you really make the face look realistic, is you add the part of the eye called the iris, which has the color in it. And then you add the pupil, right? And the pupil is very dark, and it's a little bit up towards the top of the eye. And here it looks a little scary, but that's okay, because you come back and you can fill this in. And as you fill this in, the eye starts to look more natural. Now you notice I'm coloring it a little darker at the top, because our eyes are shaded by the eyelid. And so the eyelid kind of casts a little shadow at the top of the eye. And so you do get a little shading there, like that. And now you can darken the lid line so that we can see that the eye has got a good clear eyelid on it, right? Then we could put in a little tear duct here and then do the lower eyelid. Right? And we can add a little bit of darkness around the edges. And now it's time for eyelashes. Now eyelashes start at the base of the lower eyelid, and they just kind of come out from the edges like that. And you can put in an eyebrow. Now eyebrow, typically a well-groomed eyebrow, starts from the inside of the tear duct over here like this and goes a little bit out past the edge of the eye. So you can start an eyebrow down low with little short strokes, and then you can kind of bring it up higher and get the arch of the eyebrow going up higher. So again, you go straight up from the inside of the eyelid and a little out from the edge, and you can get this nice short strokes and then make that arch at the top. I'm going to go ahead and erase the marking lines that showed where to put that in so you can see. And let's go ahead and erase some of those position lines that we had to begin with. All right, so now you see we have a kind of a typically sort of prettier face that we're more used to seeing. And we can add a few lines to show the bridge of the nose. And generally the bridge of the nose comes down from the eyebrow. And we can add that in here. And we can add a little bit for the tip of the nose and darken around the nostrils a little. And so now you're having sort of more what you're used to seeing or thinking of when you see a person's face. Sometimes if they have a little ski jump nose, they might have a little ball shape on the end of their nose or a little line that goes across here. We can add a few freckles if we want. Now we can darken the upper lip a little bit. And there you have sort of a more typical face. Now if you wanted to add more shading, you could put a little bit in around the eyelids, a little bit in around the cheekbones, right? Lastly, we want to do the ears. And the ears are usually from the top of the eyebrow down to the tip of the nose. So usually your ears are actually the length of the eyebrow all the way down to the tip of the nose. And then we can kind of solidify the jawline a little bit, add a neck, and put on some hair. A hairline kind of can come up across like this. Okay, and we can add the hair however we like. We'll talk about hair in another video. But one of the typical mistakes is putting the eyes up high and then having this extra thing down here, or else having a very round face. Another thing people will do is they'll make the eyes like this. They'll put the center of the eye round. You know, we get a person who's looking quite frightened, don't we? Right? And if we put the eyelids here, and then people will sometimes make eyelashes that are very, very straight. And eyelashes really aren't straight. Eyelashes are more curved, right? So there's that. People will do noses by making a blob or a line, but really it looks better if you have the nostrils like we did here. So that's a basic face. Remember that you start with the oval, you do your cross across the middle, put your eyes in first. The nose goes between the eyes and the bottom of the chin, so that's the tip of the nose. Then we do the center line of the mouth, and then we add the lips. And then you do cheekbones and ears and a hairline. Okay. Oh, and eyebrows. I don't want to forget the eyebrows. So that's the basics of the human face. I hope that helped you learn something new and helped your faces look a little bit more realistic. So I hope that was entertaining and interesting for you. Please don't forget to go to clubfashionista.net and take a look at the in-person classes that we offer. We have illustration classes at the studio, which are also great fun. And keep an eye on the website and our Facebook page for updates on this subscription service. If you're interested in doing more of these types of drawing exercises at home, I think you'll find it really great. And we'll put that up on our web pages and our Facebook page as soon as we have more offerings for you. Thank you.